as you can tell by the title of this video, I will be doing a first trimester recap. Just a quick disclaimer, this video is pre-recorded, so by the time I release any pregnancy related content, I would have given birth by God's grace. But yeah, and that's just a personal preference of mine. I'm all for sharing in real time, but for me personally, I don't know if it's a cultural thing or what, but yeah, I'll be sharing once the baby comes, once baby G's here. So my first trimester experience, I'm gonna try to keep it as real as possible and just kind of like how I found it and my experience with the first trimester. So I'll start from about week 5. So for me, I actually had really bad anxiety, which I think was pregnancy and work related. And some of you may know from one of the videos, from one of the tracks on my husband's album, he shared that we had actually experienced recurrent miscarriage. So for me, I think a lot of my anxieties stemmed from just the fear of loss, and especially because when we found out we were pregnant, it was actually a time where we were like, you know what, we just want to enjoy the season of our lives and, you know, just focus on each other, focus on God. And that's actually when we found out we were pregnant. So for me, I guess I wasn't mentally prepared for another pregnancy, so I was actually quite sad when I found out I was pregnant. Not because obviously pregnancy is a joy and a miracle, but because of, you know, my experiences with pregnancies. I hadn't mentally prepared myself that, you know, getting pregnant, so it was just not, hadn't planned it, and that's why it's just such a miracle, because it was God. But anyway, I'll probably get into that in another video. So yeah, I had anxiety, which was actually quite bad, and ended up getting signed off work for a bit. And in the midst of that is when it was the whole corona thing and, you know, lockdown. So, but I think that was a good thing for me, because I just got to be at home in my own space, and just mentally I could rest, and it just better helped me manage just kind of like my anxious thoughts and stuff like that. So I'll say around week 7.5 is when I actually started to be sick. Like, that is, if I hadn't known I was pregnant by then, I would have known that I was pregnant, because it just was like non-stop from the moment I woke up in the morning to when I went to bed at night. It was just constant nausea and vomiting, like to the point I'll be upset if I woke up at like 4 in the morning to use a toilet for a toilet run, because it's like as soon as my body knew I was awake, that is when the nausea started for me. But on average, I think daily the nausea would really kick in about 7:30, 8 a.m. and it was straight to the toilet. And it's not even like I could eat anything, so a lot of the time when I was vomiting, it was just bile. It was just so horrible, like. And then for me, it really kind of peaked at week 9. I'm not gonna lie, I thought I was actually gonna die that week, because it was so bad. And I just remember calling my mum, crying all the time, like, and she obviously, all she could say was sorry, because she couldn't relate. So with me and all my siblings, she never had morning sickness, she never had nausea, she never had anything. So I thought I was gonna be like my mum. Far from. So I just remember being really just discouraged all the time. Like, it was just the worst thing. I can't even describe it. It was just horrible. I had just vomiting, nausea at least 5 to 10 times a day, every day, from about week 7 till 10, I would say. And then it calmed down a bit, but I was still sick, but just not as violently as I was between weeks 8 and the beginning of 9, the end of week 9. It was just not nice whatsoever. I tried everything. I tried gingins, I tried sniffing lemons, I tried everything that they said would work, but for me, nothing worked whatsoever. I tried it all, nothing worked. So I just had to take the L and just know that it is what it is. I'm gonna be sick, and by God's grace, the sickness will wrap up soon. But for me personally, nothing worked. I tried everything that was recommended, nothing. For me, I just had to sit there, and like sometimes I'll just be in the living room and just be like, Ali would just be looking at me, and I'm just I just look so distraught. Like, he just, you know, all he can say is sorry, but it just was not nice, if I'm honest. Like, I was just one of those people that just did not enjoy the first trimester whatsoever. I did take prenatals as much as I could within the first trimester, but of course, you know, again, because I was so sick, I couldn't even keep it down, to the point like the thought of even looking at the pill would make me gag, would make me sick, because of, first of all, I'll show you prenatals I was taking. So I started off taking one by Wild Nutrition, and I got that from Planet Organic, and it's really good because it's a food-based supplement, so it's better absorbed into your body because your body can actually recognize it as food. So I had that one, then I switched to Naturello's one, which honestly for me I don't like. I think I got it because it worked out cheaper. So this is like I think it's like a 2-month supply. Like, it comes with 180 capsules. You have to take 3 a day. For me personally, the size is just, I don't know, maybe it's not too big, but at the time it seemed huge. I just didn't like it, and one time I took it and it actually burst in my throat. It was just so disgusting. So I mean, it's food-based as well, you know, and you know, it's food-based, so I guess it's a good option if you want, but personally I don't recommend it. I think this one is much better. Yeah, so I got this one because it actually worked out cheaper. So for a 2-month supply per bottle, it worked out to be like, I think £37. I got it from Amazon, whereas this one is a month, so it's 60 capsules, and I think you take 2 a day, and for 1 bottle or jar or whatever, so 1 bottle or jar, it is I think it's like £31. So this was, for me, was realistically cheaper to get, but I didn't like it, so ended up going back to this one, which I recommend. I love Wild Nutrition. They've got a wide range of food-based supplements. Yeah, I mean, obviously if you want to save money, then get this one, but personally I'm not a fan. I would say get Wild Nutrition. You can get it online, you can get it from Amazon, and you can get it off Planet Organic's website. So yeah, back to my taking of the supplements. I would say I stopped taking my supplements, if I'm honest, from about week 9, like, because it was just physically impossible. Like, when I say even drinking water would make me vomit, like I'd have to dilute my water and freeze it so it's ice cold, like slushy. That's the only way, even till now, I can drink water and it's just, I don't know, water just tasted disgusting. I'll drink water, I'll vomit, everything. I'll chew chewing gum, I'll vomit. Nothing was working for me. It was just like, I just don't understand. It was just not nice. But obviously pregnancy in itself, you know what, let me be honest, I've got loads of mum friends who absolutely love pregnancy, and it's just a complete amazing experience from start to end. And I've got some who actually don't like being pregnant at all, and I don't think that takes away from me loving my baby. For me personally, the first trimester was not nice. At the moment I'm in my 2nd trimester, and I'm actually finally loving pregnancy. And it took me, and I didn't start enjoying my pregnancy until about week 19 because I was still being sick until then. At the moment I'm 20 weeks. I'll just show you my 20-week bump, if you can see. My little baby G. But yeah, so that's my 20-week, well, I'm just over 20 weeks, but yeah. So pregnancy for me, I've only recently started to enjoy it, so I just don't feel like mum should be shamed if they do or don't like pregnancy. For everyone, the experience is completely different. So I couldn't take my supplements from about week 9 until, if I'm honest, probably like week 16, 17. But by then, I mean, I know they recommend you take prenatals from 0 to 12 weeks, and obviously have been taking it prior to getting pregnant. But yeah, what I tried to do in the end was just kind of eat nutrient dense diets that is recommended for pregnancy. So whether it's like the omega-3s, so fish, oily fish, eggs, avocados, you know, grains, I'd have porridge, just things that when I could finally eat in whatever capacity, that is giving the nutrients to baby. Because for me, it was honestly very difficult to take the supplements. So, and then obviously for vitamin D, I will try to go out in the sun a bit, because it did kind of get a bit warm around April times. Now it's June. But yeah, so I just tried to balance everything. Like, you just have to do what works for you, to be honest. Like, what works for another mum might not work for you. So I know people who take prenatals from start to end of pregnancy. I'm not one of those people, because it's just physically impossible. So at 20 weeks is when I'm like even trying to take them again, but I feel like I'm just so traumatized from when it burst in my throat, so it's even difficult to just think about swallowing it anyway. But I try to have smoothies with all the good stuff inside of it. So that was my first trimester recap. And before I end the video, what I would like to say to those who have unfortunately gone through just kind of like the pain and trauma of miscarriage, whether you have had one or, you know, however many, what I would say in a season of being pregnant after loss is you have to give each day completely to God. What helped me was just taking each day as it came. So just being grateful for each day that I'm pregnant and just enjoying daily. And that's what works for me personally, because I'm an overthinker. So I like to think 5-6 months ahead. So I had to mentally stop myself from doing that and just take each day as it came. And it just helped me better manage and enjoy each day, because I'm like, you know what, today I'm pregnant and I'm grateful. By the grace of God, the pregnancy is fine. It was not high risk at all. And yeah, it's just been a pleasure just to carry this gift from God, this absolute surprise. So I would say, like, trusting God in pregnancy after loss is not easy, and that's my own experience firsthand. But try to have a support system that will be very kind of patient and understanding. And to those of you who are supporting us on, you know, the journey with pregnancy after loss, I think if you don't know what to say, don't say anything. Just you know, I'm praying for you, how are you? It's not very helpful when, you know, I had somebody say to me, oh, you know, I know somebody that's had, you know, 7 or 8 miscarriages before they had a baby, so, you know, just trust God. That's not very helpful. Do you know what I mean? Like, imagine saying that to somebody after they've had their first miscarriage, and, you know, they're thinking, rah, so do I have to have X amount before I have a baby? So I think it's just not helpful at all. So just don't say anything. Just let them know that your thoughts are with them, your prayers are with them, and just be present and silent as well if you have to, because I had a lot of, you know, I had a great support system, which I'm so grateful for, but I did have a few people say things that, you know, maybe they had good intentions, but it actually added to anxiety. So yeah, but yeah, so yeah, back to, sorry, I can't actually remember what I was talking about. Yeah, so I would say if you've experienced loss and you are currently pregnant, take each day as it comes. Counselling has helped me. I have the best therapist in the whole wide world, and I'd have weekly sessions with her, and it helped so much, because that was a safe space for me to just share how I felt, whether it was anxious, upset, or whatever, and just a safe space for me to say how I feel. And knowing that I've got somebody to kind of listen and is a professional, and they're also a Christian. I think having therapy really was helpful for me, especially in the kind of like, because you never get over loss, to be honest. Yes, you can heal from it, but the pain is still there when you think back. So I think therapy really helped me in the whole process, even before we got pregnant and even throughout pregnancy till now. It's just been a blessing to have counselling, you know, that I share other experiences just other than pregnancy. But I'll just encourage you, maybe consider therapy, counselling, whatever you want to refer to it as, and just take each day as it comes. Be kind to yourself. Try not to overthink. Stay far away from Google. Don't do your Googles. I think Google can be really kind of dangerous when you are going through any experience, and you know, it can just add text. It's just unnecessary anxiety. So I would say stay off the internet, and if you have to mute pages, mute them. Like for me, it was helpful for me to mute pages or people on Instagram, and it's nothing personal to them, it's just they had experiences which they would share often about their pregnancy, whether, you know, in most cases it was negative. So just to kind of guard my heart, I'd have to just mute pages, and that helped me. So if you have to unfollow accounts, mute people that you are genuinely friends with but their content is harmful to your mental frame of mind or just your thoughts towards your own pregnancy, I would recommend that you mute them. It's nothing personal, but it's just, you just don't need added anxieties at any point in your pregnancy. But yeah, first trimester, I was happy to see the end of it, if I'm honest. I will be doing a second trimester recap, obviously once I've come to the end of my second trimester. By God's grace, I'll probably release that. I'll probably record that maybe in the beginning of my third trimester. So besides like just seeking additional support, maybe through counselling and just taking each day as it comes and trying your best to eat a nutrient dense diet if you can eat. I don't have any remedies to cure morning sickness. Nothing worked for me. So that is my first trimester recap. I'll see you in my next video, and thank you for watching.